I'd like to give all glory and praise and honor unto the Most High. And today, what we're going to be going over is a chapter in the Bible, out of the book of Judith. And, I want to go over that chapter specifically is because, the dialogue that's happening between these two people, in this chapter, it shows you that, these other nations know what they have to do in order to conquer us. You understand? It's only us that's in our ignorance, man. And this is why, no matter what we do, no matter how much marching we do, no matter how much protesting we do, look, we're always going to be defeated, man. Because they understand how to defeat us, and they study the scriptures, like I constantly say, throughout my videos, but they don't want you to believe in the scriptures because, they understand that that's their key to conquering you. So, right now we're going to be reading just a brief chapter in Judith chapter 5, and you're going to see the dialogue that's happening in between these two people. And you're going to understand, why we constantly gonna being defeated. And specifically, a lot of you guys know this already, man, but specifically to show you, man, look, the other nations understand, and that's why they have those people set up over there in their land. It's to disconnect you from your heritage, and make you think that you're in no way, shape, or form connected, to the people that it's talking about in the scriptures, man. So nevertheless, we're gonna get into it, man. This is why, everybody that came along, failed, man. Martin Luther King, all these guys, they just led us into more of a deeper pit. You feel me? Because the scriptures also said, hey, no man is going to be able to save you, man. Until you do what's right, by the Most High, in the eyes of the Most High. So we're going to get into it, man. This is Judith chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 1. Then it was declared to the Hophernes, the chief captain of the army of Ashur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war and had shut up the passages of the country, of the hill country, and had fortified all the troops of the high hills and had laid impediments in the campaign countries. See, so Hophernes, this was, the general of Nebuchadnezzar. This was Nebuchadnezzar's general. So they're getting ready for war. He's saying right here, verse 2, wherewith he was very angry, and called the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the sea coast. And he said unto them, tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them, or captain of their army? And why have they determined not to come and meet me more than all the inhabitants of the west, man? So you see that? He's asking his people, hey, who are these people over here, man? And why have they not come to meet me? Why are they not showing reverence to me? I'm a general, man. A powerful general. Why are they not showing no respect to me? Why? Because this is why the Most High said you got to be set apart. The children of Israel, they were set apart. You feel me? And they had their own way they did things. So they're not under, the jurisdiction of all these other nations, man. And that poses a threat. And these guys' job is to get you involved in their wickedness so they can control you. So, verse 5, it says, then said Achior, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, let my Lord now hear the word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people, which dwelleth near thee, and inhabited the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. So his captain is advising him on who these people are now. He said, this people are descendant of the Chaldeans. Chaldeans goes back to Abraham, when he was in Ur. Just keep going. So he's giving a brief history now, a brief synopsis, a brief summary, who these people are. He's advising Hophernes on who they are. So let's go keep going. Verse 7, and they sojourned heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the God of heaven, the God of whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days. Verse 9. Then their God commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned and to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt, and were increased with gold and silver, and with very much cattle. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there, while they were nourished, and became there a great multitude, so that no one could not number their nation. So he's going over the history now. He's giving them a little rundown. Let's go verse 11. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly with them, and brought them low with laboring in brick, and made them slaves. Then they cried out unto their God, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so the Egyptians cast them out of their sight. So you see that? Things got so bad that they cried unto the Most High. So you guys that sold out, you're not crying unto the Most High, right? Because you comfortable in captivity. This is right here is not for the 2/3 that sold out, because you guys not crying unto the Most High. This is the ones that haven't sold out, that's going to cry unto the Most High and cause plagues to come onto Egypt, onto the house of Pharaoh. Let's go, verse 13. And God cried, and God dried the Red Sea before them. So he's giving them a rundown, man. Let's go. So verse 14, you want to know who they are? He's giving them the rundown real quick. And brought them to Mount Sinai, and cast and burn, and cast forth all that dwelt in the wilderness. So they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and they destroyed by their strength all them of Esbon. And passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite, and the Sychemite, and all the Girgashites. And they dwelt in that country many days. Let's keep going. He's giving them wise counsel now. So verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God had hated iniquity was with them. You see that? So while they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hated iniquity was with them. Verse 18 now, listen. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. You see that? As long as they sinned not, they prospered. But when they departed, from their ways, this is what these other nations are trying to do, and this is what they've been doing. Like, it goes back to that conversation I always talk about with Balaam and Balak. If you could get them to sin, they could curse themselves. So, like I said, this is why they promote wickedness, man, because they understand the scriptures, and they understand that, look, it's not beneficial for us to promote, righteousness, because we're gonna see. I'm gonna keep reading. Hold on. Let's keep going. Verse 19. But now they are returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. So he's telling them, he's advising his general, man. So look, man, this is who these people are. This is their God. If they involved in wickedness, look, let's go up against them, and we're gonna conquer them. We're gonna overcome them. Let's keep going. So verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So you see that? They knew if there was no wickedness in the nation, they couldn't defeat them, man. This is coming from the other nations, man. The Ammon, Moab. He's advising his general on wise counsel on, look, if they should go up or not. It's because they're going to become the reproach before the world. Now, just like how we were reproached, before the world, we're the tail, and they're the head. We're at the bottom. They saying right here, look, man, if we come up against them and the Most High's with them, we're going to become the reproach, man. Like the scripture says in the scriptures, in the Bible, the scripture says, what's last is going to be first, and what's first is going to be last. That order is going to be flipped in the end, So they understand that they're going to become a reproach, man. So you see, This is why they're pushing all manner of wickedness, man. You know, and you look at the music industry. You look who's in charge of the music industry, who's running everything. You know, it's lucrative. You know, our destruction is lucrative for them, man. You know, and we are reproach. We are the reproach right now. You know, and they know if they promote, you know, righteousness, they're gonna lose. So they're not gonna do that. You know. So right here, and when Achior had finished saying these things, all the people standing around about the tent murmured, and the chief men of the Holofernes and all that dwelt by the seaside, and the Moab spake that they should kill him. So you see that? These are unwise men. You know, he's told the truth. He said, let no lie come out my mouth. He told the truth about who these people are, and these wicked people that was around him said, hey, we should kill him because he told the truth. You know, they didn't want to hear that wise counsel. Let's keep going. It's the last verse right here. 2 verses. Verse 23. For they say, we will not be afraid of the face of the children of Israel. For lo, it is a people that have no strength nor power for a strong battle. So you see that? It said it's a people that have no strength or power for a strong battle. But if you know the scriptures, what the Most High said, he said, look, man, it's not about the multitude, you know, the power cometh from heaven. So you've seen, you know, numerous times in the scriptures how the Most High could defeat a large army with a small multitude. You know, you've seen that with Gideon. You've seen that with Samson, man. You know, the scripture says, you know, they're going to put many, you know, one man could go and put thousands to flight. You've seen that with Saul. You've seen that with David, man. You know? You know, you've seen that with Judas Maccabeus. You know? So they were looking at, they were looking at them like, hey, man, they have no strength. They have no power. You know? But they don't understand. They weren't wise. They don't understand how the Most High operates, man. You know, but that guy did, and he was telling them, he was advising them. So all these things that they're advising them right here, they know, man. You know, it's only us that, you know, walking around here like boo-boo the fool. So verse 24, now therefore, Lord, Holofernes, we will go up, and they shall be a prey to be devoured of all thine army. So, you know, long story short, you know, the general went up there and he got his damn head chopped off. You feel me? You know, by one of the women of Israel, man, or by Judith. You know, they still decided to go up after this council, so they weren't wise, man. So I just wanted to, you know, do this little short, just a little short video, not too long, and showing you, like, look, man, they understand this, man. They understand this formula. You know, this is why, you know, we are reproached right now, a byword, like the scripture says. But, you know, we turn back. They, like I said, they're going to be the reproach. They understand that they're going to be the reproach, you know, when that time comes, you know, and they don't want that, you know, and that time is coming, man. So, you know, yeah, you know, so all that stuff we was doing before, has it worked? No, it hasn't worked, man. All these guys that they set up, you know, that put in front of us, they were all controlled, you know, they were all boule, you know. So, and you see what the king said in the beginning. Who is this people over here that's not showing any reverence to me? You know, why have they not come and you know, and meet me like everybody else? Why? Because they were set apart, you know. They were set apart, you know. They weren't mingled in with them, you know. So even after this wise counsel that this guy gave him, he still decided to keep messing with them. Like the scripture says, evil men understand not judgment, you know. So they're going to continue to look, you know, mess with the people of the Most High. And when that judgment comes, they're going to be like, oh, what the hell? What's going on? Evil men understand not judgment. So he went up there anyway, you know, even after the council that should have turned him away. And he ended up losing his life, man. So, you know, I just wanted to give read this little brief chapter, man. So hopefully this was edifying, man. All praises to the Most High, man.